Here we are, finally on the stove after I mash. So this needs to boil for an hour, and the boiling sterilizes and does have some of the amino acids and a couple other bits. I won't go into details with the boring stuff. But it needs to boil for an hour, and we'll add our hops in, we'll give it a big stir. I'm not going to record the whole hour of it boiling because that would be boring as hell. So I just will record the hop additions, and at the end when I aerate it, and obviously the addition of the honey, and then I'll record it cooling down. I have a little bit of ice water and I'll just put it in the sink. I do have an immersion cooler, but I'm not going to use it. And looking at a pot is boring too, isn't it? So let's get to it. Okay, so we have got as close as we're going to get to our rolling boil. So I'm going to go ahead now and add the first bit of hops, which are my Centennial, 6 grams, in my handy little hop bag. It makes it easier afterwards, so I don't have to strain it out. Just keep that over the edge, drop it in, clip it on, give it a bit of a stir. Smell of those hops are good. Now, what's happening now is what's called a protein break, and you can get what's called a boil over. So all the proteins coagulate and come to the top of the kettle, and then you have malty deliciousness everywhere you don't want it, sticky everything. So there are a couple of ways to avoid a boil over, which is to stir it a bit, or you can take it off the heat, or I can turn off the heat, or you can sprinkle a little bit of water on top, but I don't want to do that. I think that stirring always does the trick. So that was first hop addition. In 45 minutes, going to add another bit, and we'll keep going. Now guys, the light wasn't very good a few minutes ago, so I just wanted to show you what it looks like on the inside, which is pretty damn tasty. But I'm going to keep going for another little while. Not a good few minutes to go just yet. Okay, next hop addition. This is 3 grams of Chinook, which I'm hoping comes through nicely because that's the best smelling one I have. And in another minute or two, another 8 minutes, I will add the last gram of Centennial, and after 2 minutes I'll flame out and add the honey. Last of the Centennial, 58 minutes. I think I may have lost a bit more motor than I intended to. We'll see now when I pour it into the carboy. I have a 1 gallon demijohn that it's going to be fermenting in, and in that I have an immersion heater to keep it about 20 degrees for the next week. I might lower the temperature a little towards the end of it. But so far it's been going really well. Okay, as you can hear in the background, my alarm is going off, so that is flame out. We're going to add our honey now. Let's let me grab it. Turn the water off. So that is it. We're going to take our hops out. Let's give that a minute there. This side. Let it drain off. Now. Oh, that unfurled, and just add in our honey. So just let that pour right in. Need to stir it immediately so it doesn't caramelize in the bottom of the kettle. So the honey will bring the percentage volume of this beer up a bit, because I'm adding extra sugar to the mix. But this will do very, very nicely. It's honey from Holy Cross, so it's a mixture of different honeys together that my dad made up. Let's scrape it all out and get all the goodness in there. So what we got to do now is we got to cool it down, and we got to pitch the yeast. Right, so I'm gonna add the ice, which I added earlier, just to cool it down, and let it cool right down. That'll help the temperature lower quickly, and we'll be able to pitch my yeast quicker. The idea about getting your temperature down quickly is so that there's less chance of foreign bacteria or yeast getting in there and spoiling your brew. So I'm going to let that sit. When I'm adding it to the carboy, I'll record a little bit more, and that's us nearly finished. A little bit under an hour and a half working on it. So I like doing the smaller kits, because I have no space to do the big ones at the moment. If I want to do a big one, I do have the gear, but it just seems to make more sense than this one. Last bit, it's come down to about 30 degrees. It only took about 10 minutes, which isn't bad at all. Let this drain out, and then I'm going to pour it into the carboy. So I sterilise these items with some Star Sand. I have a handy spray bottle, and it's very important they're sterilised. What I'm going to do before I pour it in is I'm going to whisk the hell out of it, because I want to aerate it. So yeast needs oxygen, and I read this handy little tip in a book I have that says use a whisk to whisk your wort. It's not actually beer until you put the yeast in, and that will aerate it. It's a nice bit of oxygen in there. No fancy mucking around pouring it from height or anything like that. Just stir it and get all the oxygen you can in there. Okay, that should about do it. This over here. In all honesty, I should have cleared off a little bit more. Let's take this out. Put it here. So I have a 1 gallon carboy that I had sterilised earlier on with Star Sand. I sterilised the funnel, and let's just do this now. Careful. See why people like to add a tap onto their kettle. It makes it so much easier. I'll find out now how much I lost off the boil. I think I lost more than I intended to, a lot more than I intended to, which we learn from these mistakes. Getting there slowly. It will take around, shit, I lost way more. It'll take around 4 weeks altogether to ferment out. So the first week is the most important one. It's primary fermentation, and that will do most of the work. Damn, I lost a good bit. What I also have to do is add a little to this. Damn, I lost way more than I thought I would. I need to get a gravity reading. Okay, let that cool down, take the rest. That stays over there. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed about how much I'm missing. But I guess you learn from these mistakes. You know what? We're not too far off it. Empty, and a little bit of grain at the bottom. I'm about a litre off. It's not too bad. So I'm going to plug this immediately and add. This is the immersion heater. Goes in like this. That was sterilised a little while ago. Well, shit. Doesn't cover the whole amount. That may be an issue. Well, we'll see how we get on. Just want to cover it for a minute because I want to let it cool down a little bit more before I add the yeast. So, I won't film the yeast because literally just cut the packet open of Safe Ale US05 and just chuck it in. I have a good bit of headspace because it'll be frothy in there. Well, thanks for watching. I'll do another brew soon. This is actually a brew I'm going to enter in a national brewing competition. This is when you're part of the brewing members of Ireland. I'll post some links on the bottom if you're interested in going onto it and becoming a member and getting all the excellent benefits from it. But again, thank you very much for watching, and if you have any questions, let me know, and please like and share.
Bye.